referees for tonight's competition, Chris Haynes, and also the best referee this side of Key West, Florida, on loan to one of the local MyHockeyLive chapters, Ziggy Zanko.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to John Gallo Ice Arena in Bourne, Massachusetts. We're here for the third game of coverage on MyHockeyLive this afternoon. It is the Division I South Sectional quarterfinal between the number 2 seed Wellesley Raiders and the number 10 seed Hingham Harbormen. I'm Jake Levin, Art Egerton on camera, Paul McNamara will be with us shortly. The game is underway. Hingham out in their guest reds. Wellesley is out in their home whites with some red and black trim. Wellesley got here by defeating the Bridgewater Raynham Trojans out of the Old Colony League 8-4 last Thursday in what was a de facto home game for the Raiders, played at Babson Ice Arena, their home rink. Hingham got here by defeating the Weymouth Wildcats 5-3 in a game that was not nearly as it sounds for the Harbormen. They got out to a 4-0 lead in that game in the first period. 4 goals in a 5-minute stretch. From there, it was all Weymouth. They weathered the storm, did the Wildcats, making it a 1-goal game going into the third period. But the Hingham D held strong. Matt Personini made the saves he needed to late, and the Harbormen got an empty netter in the final minute to get to where they are today. Harbormen going from left to right across your screen. Wellesley going from right to left. His chance for Hingham. Will Jones in the middle looking for DeMellis. And backhanded away by a defender for the Raiders. That is Nathan Brown. Hingham still alive. Matt Egan. This is the top scoring line for the Harbormen. Although they didn't start this game, make no mistake about it, they are the top line. It is Matt Egan and Matt DeMellis on either wing with Billy McNally in the center as I join in Paul McNamara.
Thanks, Jake. Good start, little up-tempo here. The third D1 South quarterfinal today, and the other two have been 1-0 games, as I'm sure you've told everybody, and I don't think this one's going to be 1-0.
Did not quite get to that yet, Paul. That was in my recap. But, hey, thank you for getting it out there. That was going to be the next thing. All the goals that were scored Friday night have not carried over. As Paul said, Xaverian defeated the Braintree Womps 1-0 in the early game. And in the most recent game, the Duxbury Dragons took down the Newton North Tigers 1-0. So Duxbury and Xaverian, which sounds a little more like a football game than a hockey game, will be one of the D1 South semifinals to be played here at Gallo on Thursday night. Hanging back in their defensive end. Also of note, Andrew Eller getting the start between the pipes tonight for the Harbormen. Personini will sit.
Yeah, Jake, I wanted to ask you about that. I was a little surprised. We're running errands around the Gallo Arena here, but I was really surprised to see that Personini was not going to get the start, and Ayler is. I mean, I've seen him play. They're both good goaltenders, but just sometimes momentum, you want to stick with the guy who's hot.
Not a ton of surprise on this end. That's what Tony Messina's been doing all season long, switching back from one goaltender to another. Here's a break for the Harbormen. It is Gordon who fires on net, and a save made by Jack Maxwell, I should say. He's one of the captains for the Raiders, along with Carter Huff, a junior forward, and Rustin Keene, another senior forward.
The highly touted Jack Maxwell. They're 15-2-4, and he's allowed, well, maybe not counting the last game, but 1 goal a game.
Wellesley playing out of the Bay State Conference Herget Division. Hingham, of course, an independent. It's your 26, 27, 28 line on for the Harbormen. That is Hennessy, Gordon, and Forbes in that order. Gets underneath the stick of Droster at the far point. Selesky retreats. In is Carter Huff in the corner. Huff in the slot, trying to connect with Morton. Did not make it to Eller. I actually caught a Wellesley game a few weeks back. They were playing against the Norwood Mustangs. Carter Huff had 2 goals in that game, a 3-0 win for the Raiders. Gordon's going to try to make a break for the puck going by Hunter Colby. Can't get beyond cleanly, and Huff assumes control in his own end. Cross ice for Kevin Ward, a starting defenseman for the Raiders. He is a junior. He's going to go behind the net of Eller, played by Jacobs. Calling for it up the wing is Marshall Terres. Marshall Terres up the right wing. Can't get beyond a check of Sean Cox. Nathan Brown dumps it into the near corner. Jakes is going to be the first one there for the Harbormen. Hingham traveled well for this game. Wellesley considerably farther away, and considering the conditions outside, they did not travel quite as well. Chance for the Harbormen. It was Iria wide of the net. Far point shot by O'Rourke. Saved by Maxwell, and it's still loose on the far side of the post. Covered up by Maxwell.
Jake, you've seen Hingham a lot. I've seen them last year and this year, but I think one of the most underrated guys that people don't talk about a lot is Ethan Iria, number 10, the senior centerman. He just does a lot of things well, quietly, good leader, takes care of things in his own end, good face-off guy.
Face-off coming in the far end. Hingham's attacking zone. Draw controlled by the Raiders, who was won by Tyler Capecci. He's a senior. Raiders up ice. Capecci trying to advance the puck. Gets it beyond the blue line. Redirected by DeMellis. Back to his defenseman Jacobs. And back up ice. Got beyond Egan. Maxwell's going to let it come back to him, and he moves beyond the crease to cover up with 10:53 to go in the first period. Scoreless game here. Theme of the afternoon so far, 1-0 games. Will this game shatter the mold? The line's going to do it for the Harbormen. It's this one. McNally on to take the draw. Egan to his right, DeMellis to his left in the slot. Controlled and shot in from Selesky at the point, but saved by Maxwell.
And the top line out there for Wellesley as well. A couple of the tri-captains, Huff and Keene on the wings with Morton in the middle. And this line is obviously coaching staff expecting, Paul Donato and staff expecting a lot out of these guys too.
Draw held in. McNally tried to get to it. Will Jones couldn't keep it in at the point. Raiders up the other way. Carter Huff leading the charge. Dumps it into the corner boards, and it moves along the perimeter till Selesky can bat it out along the end wall. In the near side corner, bit of a blind spot. McNally is going to carry the puck out for the Harbormen. McNally jetting up the left wing. Dumps it in. He's going to take it himself, but it will be an icing. He was on the wrong side of the red line. Draw coming back to the Hingham defensive end with 10:23 to go in the first period. Hingham changes lines. They get their number 2 line out there. Saves with Jones and Selesky. Head coach Tony Messina irate with this icing call. He might have beef. Will lose his argument. Draw controlled by the Harbormen. Intercepted initially by the Raiders. Out of the zone they come. Peter Haru tried to get in the way of that one. Corner boards. Kevin Ward. That puck was intended for, but gloved down. Eller holds the far post. Coming in is Sean Cox. Battle with Will Jones. Selesky with the puck. Captain of the Harbormen. Selesky's going to take this through the middle of the ice to the red line. He's going to skate beyond the blue line. Selesky puts it over the head of Maxwell. Went off the end boards. And in transition comes Kevin Ward. Kevin Ward using the boards to his advantage. Dumps it in. That was Droster for the Harbormen. Inadvertently sends it the length of the ice. It is going to be an icing. 9:33 to go. The Wellesley fans have arrived. I spoke too soon.
A little bit of life now has to be pumped into the bench as the fans walking in, and they've probably been singing "Let's Go Raiders" from Plymouth down, you know.
From the point, that shot came, Griffin Morgan, but it was saved by Eller. Reset, do it again. Far side of the attacking zone for Wellesley. The draw is held. Going to track it down in the corner is Capecci. Sent it through the crease. Terez comes up with the puck. That's Iria. Iria knocked off on the half wall. Terez advances the puck for the Harvardmen. Battle out with Hunter Colby. Matt Kerrigan to the puck on the half wall. Trying to get it out of there for the Raiders. Colby sticks with it and goes back towards Morgan. Goes underneath the glove of O'Rourke. That could have been an odd man rush for the Raiders. Outlet pass, too hot to handle for Terez. It's held up. Here comes Carter Huff. Huff up the left side from the circle. Sends it right on to Eller, who covers up with his glove held like a breadbasket.
Jake, looking down the Wellesley roster, they are definitely a veteran squad. Out of the top 14, your first 9 forwards and 5D, 8 seniors, 4 juniors, only 2 sophomores. And one of the juniors is Huff, one of the tri-captains. So senior-laden and veteran-laden squad.
Regular season champions of the Bay State Conference Harrogate Division. From the point, that is going to come. Save initially made by Eller. He couldn't hold on. Came from Zach Dowdy. Wide of the far side of the post, up along the end boards. Hardman trying to clear the zone. That's DeMellis, cross ice to Egan. Back to the center of the ice, under the stick of McNally. Retreating is Dowdy from his own end and gloves it out into the neutral zone, where Will Jones is the first one there for the Hardman.
Zach Dowdy, the 6th defenseman I didn't list, is a sophomore, brother of Eric Dowdy, a senior. So add one more sophomore in that first 15.
Selesky leading the rush for the Hardman from beyond the red line, sends it off the end boards. First one there is Dowdy. Intercepted by McNally at the half wall, couldn't hang on. And Jack Hubbard got his stick in there, shot taken. Saved by Maxwell. Tracking it down is DeMellis in the near corner boards of his attacking zone. Big battle brewing down there. Sean Cox involved as well. I think we're going to get a penalty here against Wellesley. Waiting for the dust to settle. It's going to be Ethan Murphy going, sophomore forward. He'll go at 7:14 of the first period.
He's going to get a roughing call. I didn't see it in the corner, but the official's arm went up right away. And
came in that blind spot in the near side of the corner. So here's the first look at the Hingham power play. It is going to be the McNally line with O'Rourke and Selesky back at the point. McNally on the half wall out to Selesky at the point. Trying to advance it further, gets it to McNally, who tried to get it to Egan, shooting up the left. All the way back to Eller. Wellesley with their first clear of the penalty kill. Matt DeMellis going to take his time on this one. He's a sophomore for the Harvardmen. DeMellis to Selesky. Backhanded up for O'Rourke. O'Rourke takes it in up the left side from the circle. O'Rourke's going to go behind the net on a tour of the attacking zone. Near corner, O'Rourke emerges, still with the puck at the half wall. Out to the point for DeMellis, right back to O'Rourke. DeMellis trying to break in from the point, interrupted by some Wellesley defenders. To Egan along the end boards towards McNally. To the far side of the ice, McNally tried to go back to Egan, and Wellesley gets a clear. 34 seconds to go on the man advantage for the Harvardmen. Good-looking kill so far for the Raiders. They have not allowed a shot on goal. Here's DeMellis. He's going to make his move up the right wing. DeMellis into the right circle, turns on the brakes, shy of the corner, sends it to the point for Selesky. At that near point, Selesky cross ice for McNally, back to Will Jones at the far point. Matt Egan's going to get the puck along the end boards. 9 seconds to go on the man advantage for the Harvardmen. They've had some zone time. They still have no shots on goal to show for it. Is trying to bang it home from the near post was Egan. Couldn't get it to him cleanly. Selesky, as a penalty expires, carries it from the right circle, went off the skates of a Raider. I believe it was Hubbard, and they get the clear. But it will result in an ice. So not a bad power play for the Harvardmen, Paul, but no shots on goal till the very end.
You know, Jake, just before the penalty, Big Jacob sent one in from the point, and Maxwell had a little trouble with that. I don't think he expected it. And sometimes Hingham, teams like this, you get guilty of reading too many clippings about the goalie, and you try to get too fine. I think they way over tried to play perfect play on that one. Sometimes you got to get it to the net and get in the dirty area.
Droster chips in from the far point, sent on net by Hennessy, sent right back out by Maxwell. near side of the ice in the Hingham attacking zone. A scrum for the puck inside 6 minutes to go in the first period. No score between Wellesley and Hingham. Division I South Sectional quarterfinal. The winner of this game will place the winner of the Marshfield-Barnstable game, which was originally scheduled for tonight. It will now be played tomorrow afternoon at 4 p.m. Bit of a programming note for you. Behind Eller,
I just want to add more hockey to every game, that's all.
Perez got it up for Shea. Dan Shea advanced it further for Ieria. Near point, Jacobs thought he had to play with the puck. He'll get it back in his own end. For O'Rourke, saucered it to him. O'Rourke moving up the left, knocked away by Ward. O'Rourke along the end boards, battled out with Colby. Ieria down there as well now for the Hardeman. Pinned up against those boards by Kevin Ward. Near corner and now inside 5 minutes to go. Big scrum in the corner. Cleared out. Here comes Matt Kerrigan. Kerrigan by himself chips it beyond O'Rourke. And Kerrigan fell backwards. It was merely meant to be a dump as Wellesley changed lines. They control the puck through the neutral zone. Connor Morton gains the line to the left side. Backhands it softly into the corner. Intended for Rustin Keene, one of the co-captains for Wellesley. Diagonal pass. McNally to Egan. It's intended for McNally, intercepted by Sean Cox. That's Connor Morton. Going to gain the line through the middle, leaves it for Huff at the near point. Into the slot, backhanded away by Selesky before he can get a shot off. Here comes Hardeman. DeMellis going to split through the middle, and they got him offside.
Yeah, Billy McNally was a half a step over the line. DeMellis had just a split-second move to the right that caused Billy McNally to be a half a step offsides, and that was the right call. And, a good chance down the other end for Wellesley. Terrific pass in there by Carter Huff in the middle, and you got to do bang, bang. You know, you can't catch it and go, wow, what a great pass, and take your time. You got to get pucks to the net.
Droster to play the puck in the far corner of his own end. 3:44 to go in the first period. We're still scoreless.
What a shock.
Going down in the corner, looked like Droster, but emerging with the puck, that was McNally. Trying to shoot it up for DeMellis. Foot race between him and Griffin Morgan on the far left side. Peter Haru. Tripped up. McNally trying to start a break, forced it up to Egan in the right side. Egan, backhand for McNally, shot, it's just wide. That was a touch shot in a way by McNally.
Well, McNally leaning to his left, couldn't get all on it, and he had Maxwell going the same way, and there was an open foot available along the ice.
McNally may have played it with too much finesse. Jones is going to try to dump it, took a odd carom off some side glass, and Wellesley heads up. This one is going to go off the top of the glass. It will not exit the sheet of play. Will Jones cross ice for O'Rourke. Inside 3 minutes to go now in the first. O'Rourke turned the puck over, and that official has now been in the way of a few collisions lately. Two players go down. Long pass up for Hennessy. Touches him so it won't be an ice, but the Raiders are going to be the first one there. Pinned up against the boards, and picking it up is now Tyler Capecci. Capecci towards Garenti. Billy Garenti in his own end, attempting to clear the puck for Wellesley. Scrum on the near side half wall. Bit of a blind spot here. Towards the corner boards, Wellesley along the perimeter. It's Kevin Ward. Chips it forward towards Matt Kerrigan. Intercepted. That was by Forbes, I believe. It's out in no man's land here in the Hingham defensive end. Takes a Hingham bounce beyond the goal line. Capecci was all by himself. Battle in the near corner boards now. Hingham defensive end. We're inside 2 minutes to go. Still scoreless. Droster off the side boards. Jetting in is Shea, and a save by Maxwell. A lackadaisical line change by Wellesley. Dan Shea took advantage. Took that puck off the sideboards. Nobody to beat but Maxwell, but the goalie comes up big for Wellesley.
Jake, great call on that. He jetted in. He looked like he was shot out of a gun, Danny Shea, and he went in. Unfortunately, he tried to put it right through the body of Jack Maxwell, right in the midsection, but Maxwell, a big target anyway.
Draw comes in the Hingham attacking zone. Minute 45 to go in the first. Selesky at the near point is going to tee it up. Pad save Carter goes to the end boards. Sean Cox with a puck.
Hingham's going to get a penalty here.
Selesky touches the puck, and indeed, Wellesley will get a power play the final 87 seconds of this first period. See who it's going to be against. Looks like Teres.
Yeah, Teres ran into his guy from behind, pushed him down. They're going to call it a cross check.
So Wellesley will get their first power play opportunity. 1:27 to go in the first period. It'll be a minute 30 power play, so barring a goal, Wellesley will be on the man advantage for the remainder of the first period. Shot was taken but fanned on by Morton. Far point, Kevin Ward tried to pinch in, goes towards Rustin Keene, but cleared out by the Hardman. McNally jetting up ice, trying to beat Griffin Morgan to the puck in the far corner boards. McNally makes his presence felt, but Kevin Ward's able to clear the puck out towards Huff. Slowed down at the red line by Selesky. Egan tried to pick the puck up for the Hardman. Fanning at it was Huff. Comes into the crease, and Eller had to hold the post. 51 seconds to go in the period. 54 on the power play. Cleared out again by the Hardman. Here's Egan jetting in, looking for a short-handed bid. Connor Morton moving up the near right side. Diagonal pass connects with Keene. Keene in from the circle, and it's well wide and high. And now Hingham clears the zone. Goes off the stick of, I believe, Matt Egan. Jack Maxwell exits his crease. Leaves the puck for Ward. Kevin Ward. Pass was intercepted by Dan Shea. Sends it back to Will Jones, who clears the puck into the neutral zone. Retreating is Nathan Brown. A backup ice come the Raiders until it was again sent back where it came from, this time by Iria. 4 seconds to go in the period. Didn't even realize how much time had gone by us. So an excellent penalty kill by the Hardman is how this first period will end, although they will still have 4 seconds to kill off when the second begins.
You know, Wellesley, it seems like Wellesley might have forgotten just some basics on the power play. Get in the zone, maintain possession. A little bit too much 1 on 2, 1 on 3. Just going to 7 of 6 in shots. That sort of explains the way the period seemed to be with the eye test up here. It looked like Hingham dominated at times. Wellesley get in there for a couple of good chances, but there were more one-offs. No sustained pressure from Wellesley. Much more sustained pressure from Hingham, and Hingham skating a lot better than Wellesley right now.
Yep, no highlight reel saves necessarily for either goalie. No shots that were robbed by either goalie.
Now, the best chance was really almost a broken play. And,
yeah.
It was almost a broken play that McNally going down, tried to go backside and went by the side of the post.
I'm with you. So we're going to take a break. Paul's not going to take a break.
No,
I will be back in about 10 minutes here. But Paul, you were
for about 30 seconds. We're going to get a chance to talk to John Blake, who's president of the Mass State Hockey Coaches Association, and also the head coach of the team that won the last game. Duxbury 1-0. Well, welcome back, folks, between the first and second period of the exciting Hingham-Wellesley game, and shockingly, it's 0-0 after 1 here. This is, we're going to give John Hickey some grief. This is the house with no goals. I think there's plexiglass in every crease here, but we're joined right now by John Blake, the head coach at Duxbury and the author of one of those 1-0 wins. There's only been 3 games here today, and they've all resulted in 1-0 games, and John, you get out of here with a 1-0 victory.
Yeah, you know, we do stress team defense with our team, and the only way you're going to move on here in this tournament is if you have a strong goaltender and you buckle down a little bit in the defensive zone. We were able to execute that today.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many good goalies around, and, I haven't seen Wellesley play till today, and a lot of people think Big Jack Maxwell may be one of the best.
I've heard about that all tournament long, all season long. They were on the Super 8 watch list for a while, and everyone said he was their strength, and he's played well tonight.
Well, you've got a pretty good guy between the pipes too, and Tucker Kelly. It's a good feeling for guys to know that even if they make a mistake once in a while, of course they're going to hear about it from the coach, but they got Kelly back there to cover up.
No question. Just towards the end of the year, he started to get his confidence back, and you can tell he's playing a different game now. And without Tucker, we probably wouldn't still be playing. So we're going to ride him out. He's going to have to come up big on Thursday, and we're going to have to put the puck in the net a few times too, because Severian is all that and more.
Yeah, Severian with a surprise, a pretty good goalie in Aiden Murphy himself.
He's the best I've seen all year. You know, we went down there in December We hit a few posts and crossbars, but we couldn't solve them. So our number one challenge on Thursday night is to somehow solve him, or else we'll be turning our equipment on Friday.
Well, John, we're talking with John Blake from Duxbury. Last year you guys made the big dance, if you call it that. This year you're down here, Zavarian's down here, Hingham's down here. This is one of the best tournament fields I've seen in a while. You know, nothing against the bottom of the 16 teams, but I looked at that thing and said, really, there's 7 or 8 teams that legitimately have a shot at this title. That's
the beauty of the Super 8. It takes out those top 8 teams from the South and the North, and it makes the Division I South tournament wide open every year. And it's exciting down here. You got public schools, you got big crowds. I mean, this is what high school hockey's all about. And any kid that is giving up this to go play junior hockey, to play U16, to play U14 is crazy. It's a great atmosphere. Play with your friends in front of your community. You can't beat it.
Yeah, the excitement, I mean, at the play-in games the other night, it was Zavarian on the other end, but when Franklin scored that goal to win that game, it was like they won the Super Bowl. I mean, the kids were just, I happened to be about 30 feet away from the team and the fans. It was electric.
It's a great story, too. You got 21 seniors there, a program only in their second year of Division I, to able to do what they've done. Coach Blaine's done a great job with that group.
Absolutely, and you know, they've got a game tonight, but there's been some kind of surprising results from Songas today that we could get into later. But, you know, I think it emphasizes your point that high school hockey is, you know, there may be 2 teams that are apart from everybody this year, but everybody else has a shot. I mean, Woburn took Cathedral to 3-2, and St. John's beats BC High, and, you know, that could be a 3-game series right there.
No question. I mean, at that level, it's a fine line between a win and a loss. Could be a hot goalie, could be a bounce or a break there or here or there. So when you get to this point in the season, when you're playing hockey in March, it's a small margin of error, and you just got to hope your team gets the break or the bounce.
Well, I want to get off the current season just for a moment and talk about what happens after the season. We've been talking about it, the Mass State High School Hockey Coaches Association Annual Hall of Fame dinner that takes place in May up at the Montvale Plaza. Charlie Driscoll always he's had a lot of days in the sun, but he loves the day in the sun running that event. We've been publicizing it, but you're in position where you want to see a great event that night as well.
No question. I know we have Danny Shine from Arlington Catholic going in, and Muzzy, the coach of Belmont High. It's always a great event. It's always well attended, and we're hoping to do the same thing again this coming April.
Sorry with the one mic, John. But we are reading the notes as we go through the tournament, and it's a great night. I went last year, and there's some stories told as usual. But we talked to Dan Conley the other day after his win, and it's great to see you guys that have programs that are moving forward and exciting, involved in the association as well.
Yeah, it's funny. The old Hingham coach Garrett Regan kind of recruited Danny and I on the South Shore. And
none better than Garrett.
No, there really isn't. And Buddy Ferreira from Falmouth. Both of those guys kind of took us under their wings. They got us involved, and I think it was kind of the passing of the guard for Garrett and Buddy. And you know, Danny and I like to do a lot of work for the association, just in the name of Garrett and Buddy for all they did for us and for all they did for high school hockey.
Well, Dan Conley, the past president, and John Blake, the current president of the association, and I happened to run into another one of your circle, John McGuire, early in the day, and you guys do a great job with college hockey. You know, you want to win for your own team, but you want to see the sport foster and grow as well.
Yeah, and I think if anyone has any doubts about high school hockey, take the time, come out to one of these games, look at the atmosphere, look at the crowd, look at the excitement, and you can't beat this, I don't think, in any other sport. You certainly can't beat it in any type of junior hockey. Hopefully kids get the message that this is the thing to do. Stay and play for your high school. You cannot beat this without anything.
That's John Blake. Listen to Uncle John, kids. So many kids go a junior route or two and end up coming back too, and you know, seeing what's real about being in high school.
Yes. Yeah, it's funny. You'll look in the crowd once in a while and you'll see a kid back from junior hockey, and you can tell most of the time he's having second thoughts. So hopefully when people get out and they see this and they see the product we have, they'll see what a great quality product it is, and they'll continue to come to their public school.
Great message and a great win today for the Duxbury Dragons. They move on. They'll be playing Thursday right here, I believe at 6 o'clock against Zavarian, and hopefully MyHockeyLive we'll be bringing you all the action of that one as well. So, John Blake, thanks for taking the time to be with us, and congrats on a great win today.
Thanks for having us. See you.
So, terrific guy, John Blake, great coach at Duxbury, and congrats to him and the Dragons win today. We're going to take a quick break right here. In a couple of minutes, Jake Levin will be back with you with all the action of the second period between Wellesley and Hingham. We're tied at no score after one.
Check one.
We're back for the second period here. Division I South Sectional quarterfinal between the Hingham Harbormen and the Wellesley Raiders. No score after one. The second period begins with Wellesley on the power play, and it's gone just like that. It was an abbreviated 4 seconds they had remaining. A cross-check against Carson Terez with minute 27 left in the first period carried over. I'm Jake Levin alongside Art Egerton on video, and Paul McNamara will be joining us shortly. There have been 2 1-0 finals in the South Sectional thus far today. Zavarian 1-0 over Braintree, and most recently Duxbury 1-0 over Newton North. You get the feeling the first goal is going to win this game. Time will tell. We're going to get a draw right in front of us. Hingham now going from right to left across your screen. Wellesley going from left to right. Ira wins the draw for the Harbormen. And coming back around to play it was Terez. Went off of Shea's stick. And there's Haru. Advances it out for Wellesley. Here's Nathan Brown trying to start a rush. Checked out by Selesky. And I think this is going to be an offside. Pretty good turnout from the Hingham side. Decent turnout from the Wellesley side. Hingham a good half hour, 45 minutes closer than Wellesley, especially in this storm. And here's McNally leading the rush for the Harbormen. He fanned at the initial outlet pass, tried to connect with DeMellis. This puck is going to chip up and land right in front of the office of John Hickey, the rink manager here at Galloway Arena, who's done an outstanding job accommodating us throughout the Division I South tournament. Will continue to do so until it is all said and done. It's the McNally, DeMellis, Egan line to take the draw right in front of us. DeMellis closest to us, McNally on the draw, Egan on the far right. DeMellis getting a little antsy there, battling with Rustin Keene for positioning on the left wing. DeMellis advanced the puck, but sent out of the zone by Eric Dowdy. Here comes Connor Morton for the Raiders. Dumps it on the end boards, and Hingham's able to get a clear. Just kept alive. Hingham thought they had the clear. Will Jones takes the puck from behind his own net. Andrew Eller between the pipes for the Harbormen, in case you were just joining us. Matt Personini, who started game 1 of the playoffs for the Harbormen, sitting on the bench.
Best seat in the house, though.
Absolutely. Not indicative of his play in game 1. That has been Tony Messina's MO all season long. Goalie Starts one day, sits the next, more or less. Not a bad problem to have. They say if you don't have a starting goalie, you have no true goalie at all if you keep alternating. That's true in some cases. I don't know how true that is for the Harbormen. I guess we'll see how far they can go switching off between Personini and Yeller. It's working so far.
Indeed. It's got them to where they are, and they're a good hockey team right now, a very good hockey team.
The draw is won very strongly by the Raiders. Behind his own net, Kevin Ward receives the puck, and jetting up the left side is Tyler Capecci before he runs into the wall that is Michael Selesky. Selesky with the puck, captain of the Harbormen. Soft backhand pass up for Gordon. Touch pass right back for Gordon, who gains the line. That was Hennessy battling along the end boards. Steven Jacobs pinches in from the point, and from the near half wall shot it. It was blocked off the legs of Kerrigan. Still alive in the slot. Hennessy gets it off. Stick save, Maxwell.
These guys play very well together, Gordon and Hennessy and Forbes. They know where each other is all the time, and they're smart hockey players, too.
Here comes Capecci up the right side. Selesky the first one to the puck. Terez touches it the far side half wall of his end zone. 12:16 to go in the second period. Still no score. Selesky along the end boards to Jacobs. Lofts it up ice over Dan Shea. Too high for Shea to get to, right over his stick that was still on the ice. And we will get a draw back in the Wellesley attacking end, 12:06 to go.
Yeah, Wellesley with a little bit of just a bump and grind the last couple of shifts where Hingham's trying to skate a little more. Wellesley's just content to try to muscle it down the field, to use a football analogy.
Murphy won that draw initially for Wellesley. O'Rourke picks it up. Trying to clear was Terez to the far side. O'Rourke behind his own net, trying to skate out off the sideboards. Outlet pass goes to Terez, trying to make a move up the right wing. Knocked off the play by Sean Cox, but he stays with it. To Dan Shea along the end boards. Stick lifted by Doughty, kept alive near point. O'Rourke sends it on net. Pad save Maxwell. That is a perfect example of being in the right place at the right time for Maxwell. He had no clue where that puck was.
No, but that's what Hingham has to do to solve Maxwell. Is they got to get bodies in front, throw through a screen, and hope for a bounce.
Great positional save by Jack Maxwell. Jetting up the left side is Nathan Brown. O'Rourke impedes his progress to the puck. And so DeRoster on the other side of the ice for Terez. It's going to be McNally along the end boards, trying to get a clear, went off a Raider. Terez starts the break up ice, gets it to DeMellis. Matt DeMellis with some moves. Matt DeMellis saved by Maxwell. He fluttered that puck in on the Wellesley goaltender.
Boy, an extra gear there for DeMellis. He just took it up a notch through center ice and flew down the left wing.
Breakaway speed for the sophomore winger. Will Jones defensively backhands it up. Gets it to Egan, who sends it wide of the net to the far side. McNally will give chase. Far side of the ice. Egan down there as well. Griffin Morgan trying to thwart the opportunity for the Raiders.
Here, nice breakout by Morton.
Yep, Morton up ice. Stick checked away by Will Jones. Shot taken by Huff and blocked by Egan. All the way out it will come. This is likely going to be an icing against the Harbormen. And indeed it's called with 10-11 to go in the still scoreless second period.
Just a lot of energy out there in red, and not as much in white right now. That was a good rush and a great breakout by Morton, and a little bit of sustained pressure there for 5 or 10 seconds. But really, Wellesley's, it's like one and done every time they get in the zone.
Morton, one of the top line wingers for the Raiders. The draw is won. Selesky tries to knock Garenti off the play in the far corner. Garenti stayed with the puck and advanced it to Capecci. Capecci was in the slot, and Kerrigan couldn't get his stick on it. And now Matt Egan the other way for Hingham. That was actually Hennessy who gets it to Gordon. Gordon with a shot and a glove save Maxwell. Another good positional save. Hingham with a little pep in their step right now. That is, I believe, Forbes in the near corner. Forbes being held along the boards. Gordon down there to help him. Forbes stays with the puck in the slot. He was looking for Hennessy. He was too far beyond the goal line. And defensively, Griffin Morgan gets to the puck at the half wall. Kerrigan plays it and clears it out. Advanced further by Capecci, but sent back where it came from by Droster. who will go down on the break for the Hardman. Ioria trying to forecheck out there with his line mates, Dan Shea and Marshall Terez. Terez kept alive on the backhand. Shea advances it further. Ioria will give chase in the corner, knocked out by Eric Dowdy to the far side half wall where Terez was waiting for the puck, well defended by Billy Garenti.
We could see that fourth line for Hingham anytime now, the Rock'em Sock'em, because every other line's going great, and, you know, I'm sure.
In the front score! Ioria! It was initially blocked in front. I missed who blocked it. Rebound went right to Ethan Ioria. And it's 6:02 of the second period. Hingham has scored the game's first goal.
I think Shea will get one assist. I'm not sure who was on the right point over there. Might get the other one. It might have been Jones. Could be Terez. But, boy, heads up, and Ioria made no mistake. Just as soon as it got there, shot a bullet. And a couple of minutes ago, Shea had one labeled that Maxwell made a great save on, too, and so did Gordon.
And, Paul, this bodes well for the Hardman. They take the lead, and it wasn't even their top line that gets the goal. Here's that top line on the ice. Hingham wants more. Matt Egan behind his own net, trailing pass for McNally. McNally stays with it through the near corner, out to the point. It's underneath the stick of a work. And jetting up ice is Haru. Haru in by himself. Haru, shot, saved by Eller. He held the far post. Back up ice comes Hingham now. Up and down they go. Egan from the circle looking for DeMellis. Shot saved by Maxwell. DeMellis picks up the rebound but runs right into Egan along the end boards, and there's a big old scrum for the puck along the end wall, and I believe the net came off its mooring, so we're going to get a stoppage. 8:12 to go in the second. Up and down they go, Paul. This game's starting to get exciting.
Jake, you think this has opened up a little bit? There's Egan just knocking over DeMellis. I'm sure those two are very good friends, but they don't want to run into each other that way. But, boy, end to end, and a great fortuitous bounce off the end of the stick. Ayler didn't make a bad play, but Herrero just never got the shot off he wanted to.
Glove down by Selesky. Shot, save Maxwell, and lobbed up right in front of us. The puck comes. We'll get a draw in the Hingham attacking zone, right back where it was initially. Wellesley with a late line change.
I told you Ioria was underrated.
Yeah. Paul McNamara, ladies and gentlemen, he said in the pregame, between the legs of Jacobs, 3-on-2 rush for the Raiders. It's Billy Garenti. Was content sending it along the perimeter. Kerrigan down there to aid as well. All kinds of bodies along the end wall. Can this result in the breakout for Hingham? Goes off of Capecci, and on the forecheck, very aggressive, is Jeff Gordon. Gordon's still with it, now joined by some of his line mates. That is Hennessy throwing his body around down there. Kerrigan with the clear out towards Capecci. But the Hardman retained possession in their own end. It is Selesky leading the draw, tried to get it to Shea. It was gloved away by Zach Dowdy. Over halfway is gone in the second period, and therefore halfway is gone in the game. Hingham leads 1-0, goal by Ethan Ioria, the difference maker thus far.
Yeah, they give it to Ioria, and they announce it just from O'Rourke. Hard to argue, I guess, but...
perhaps an MHL assist in the future of Dan Shea.
I think an MHL assist would be given to number 20, Dan Shea. I believe it was Shea who got the puck moving, but tell Danny Shea picked one up from this side.
Jones sends it along the perimeter for the Hardman in an attempt to clear, thwarted by Rustin Keene. Into the neutral zone, it's Griffin Morgan. Morgan sends it on Eller. He was a bit wide of the post, saved nonetheless.
A little bit of a curveball, though.
O'Rourke jetting up the left side, had his pocket picked by Carter Huff, but it was a hook, and Hingham's going to go on the power play.
You know, I'm not so sure about that one. I think that might have been a crowd-assisted call there as O'Rourke got tangled up, and the stick was definitely in there by Carter Huff, but I'm not sure that's in a game like this.
Paul, I'm with you. I'd let him play, but the ref had his arm up pretty quickly. So here's our second look at the Hingham power play. They're 0 for 1. They're going to start with McNally, DeMellis, and Egan up front. And O'Rourke and Selesky, who one times it wide of the near post at the point. Selesky tried to keep it in. O'Rourke lost his stick, and trying to go for a breakaway was Rustin Keene. The puck had too much velocity on it. Selesky will carry it out of his own end. Selesky gains the line up the left side and dumps it along the end boards. DeMellis down there as well as Egan. Egan along the backhand on the left side to Selesky at the point using the half wall to get the puck to DeMellis. Backhands for Egan in the circle. Went through the slot into O'Rourke at the far point, kept alive by Selesky. Goes off a Raider stick into DeMellis in the far corner. Back out to the far point for Selesky. Teased out. Rebound, and it was just wide of the near post.
Egan thought he had that one.
Selesky, hard pass to DeMellis. Again, it's just wide of the crease. O'Rourke pinches in. Cross circle, DeMellis to Selesky. He fanned at the puck. Still alive, 3-on-1 for Hingham. DeMellis shoots.
Wow.
He picks top corner and scores. Matt DeMellis on the power play, and Hingham takes a 2-0 lead. Wellesley was almost able to create an odd man rush going in their direction. Selesky had fanned at that puck pole, but his second effort poked it further where it was a 3-on-1 chance for the Hardeman. DeMellis didn't get cute. He just picked top right corner, shot it, and scored.
Well, Selesky, he'll remember that assist for a long time, one of the most unintentional ways to get the puck to DeMellis, but it ended up as a 3-on-1 for Hingham within 10 feet of the goal.
That is a 2-0 lead for the Hardeman. About 5.5 to go in the second. At the point, DeRoster tees it up, and a glove save by Maxwell, who sprung to his left. So they give Egan the assist, an MHL assist to Selesky.
Absolutely. That's not even a no-brainer. I mean, that is a no-brainer. That's not even a one to think about. But, boy, if things picked up here. I mean, Wellesley started to play with a little bit more sense of urgency, then they took the penalty, and Hingham took full advantage. DeMellis, boy, I'd like DeMellis on a shootout. I'd put some money down on him.
It is a power play goal for DeMellis, and Hingham leads 2-0. Raiders looking for the break. It's Connor Morton up ice, up the left side. Glove down by Will Jones. They don't rule it offside. Droster off the sideboards to Hennessy. Tried to advance it to Gordon. It was intercepted by Eric Dowdy in the neutral zone. Wellesley having a whale of a time entering the Hardeman zone. Gordon put his stick down. Still trying to kick it out right in front of the Wellesley bench. And they're going to roll this offside. Connor Morton a little overzealous.
Yeah, pretty easy call for the official there right on the line. And, 99 out of 100 times, that's an offsides right there, the way the puck is going back and forth and bodies are still in there. So easy call for the official.
Morton to take the draw. Centering a line along with Rustin Keene and Carter Huff. That's your top line for Wellesley. If they want to get back in this game, it starts with them. There's Keene. Pass was too deep in for Huff.
Right idea. He had a body leaning on him, though, Area.
Here the Hardeman. That was Shea. Could not connect with Perez. Good defensive play by Hunter Colby. Getting his stick in the way.
What a play by Shea, though. A great pass just under the stick of Terrace.
The puck, or the net, comes well dislodged.
First down. I think that's a first down.
Huge scrum behind the net. That was beyond football. That was rugby stuff right there.
4:18 to go, middle period, and quickly Hingham has come from 0-0 to lead at 2-0, and it's been the Jack Maxwell story, but Hingham has taken a 2-0 lead, and Wellesley happy to be in the game right now, but they need one quickly.
Area won the draw. Out to the point, Hingham played it conservatively. It is going to be a trip. If you notice, Selesky and Jacobs both pinched back, played that conservatively, rather than advance the puck further. It won't matter as Dan Shea got his stick in there for a trip.
Yeah, they're going to call it interference. I mean, you can pick your poison there, but it comes at 10:50 of the second period, and second power play opportunity for the Wellesley Raiders.
The Raiders are 0 for 1. They had that penalty that expanded 2 different periods, although just 4 seconds into the second. Shot taken from the point, didn't reach the net, came off the stick of Griffin Morgan. Near side half wall, the attacking zone. Moved in for the point is Ward. It was blocked. Moving into the slot, taking the shot was Carter Huff. And that is stopped by Eller with 3:53 to go in the second.
Well, Hingham just wants to try to stop this power play, obviously, and then get back to what they've been doing most of the second period. I mean, the shots in the first period, I believe, were pretty even.
At 7-6 Harberman, unofficial number.
Yeah, and this is going to be a lot different numbers this period.
Harberman clear the puck. This is Morgan trying to lead a charge for the Raiders. Ward gets it to Morton. Morton on that left side. Leaves the puck for Huff. Huff toes the line, tries the wraparound bid, and a save by Eller. So Carter Huff doing what he does best, and that is getting shots off at high angles.
Yeah, good power move, a hockey move there around the net. We've seen a lot of that in all the games today. You see it in every game when people try to out-quick the goalie and beat him to the far post, and that was a good move by Huff, but good job by Ayler to get there.
Still 50 seconds left on the power play for Wellesley. Selesky will clear the puck. Inadvertently stopped by Egan, but he'll carry it in. No questions asked. Intercepted by Cox. Cox gains the line up the left side, leaves it for Morton. Morton on the half wall towards the slot, and leaving the net exposed was Eller, but Cox overskated the puck. Cox shoots it, goes off the body of Will Jones. That is Keene in the corner. Along the end boards to Morton, out at the point. It's Ward who fires, goes off the leg of McNally to the far half wall. Teed up, shot taken by Cox, blocked in front, and I think that was Keene who tried to bang it home, went to the end boards. Moving in is Ward. Again, it is blocked. Hardeman blocking all kinds of shots on this shorthanded situation. Finally cleared out by McNally as the penalty expires. Kevin Ward for the Raiders. That is underneath the stick of Brown. It's going to be an icing. Hingham will get an attacking zone draw. 2:32 to go in the second.
Well, Hingham survives that penalty, and it was not a good penalty, but questionable. I mean, a couple of them have been. It's not been a dirty game by any means. I mean, there's nothing over the line, and a couple of incidentals here and there have resulted in some power plays. Hingham they've been able to put one power play goal behind Maxwell.
Certainly isn't the Hingham-Weymouth game from Friday night. There's some chippiness in that one. That is Gordon who's going to tee it up, and a nice glove save by Maxwell.
Gordon's playing a good game. This whole line of Gordon, Forbes, and Hennessy, hard to believe my Irish heritage. I can't believe those guys, but they're playing a really good game.
Draw is won by the Raiders. Behind the net in the corner, Griffin attempts to clear the puck. O'Rourke gets his stick in there. Positional diagonal pass out of the reach of Brown. Jacobs got it to Gordon, sent back into the attacking zone by Heroux, but there's Jacobs with a long diagonal intended for Hennessy. That's going to be an icing with 1:57 to go in the second period.
And that's going to do it for their shift. Probably their shifts in the second period here with under 2 minutes to go, but Wellesley still, 2 goals is not an insurmountable lead. I mean, that's what a lot of people say is the toughest lead in hockey, but Wellesley has to do something. It's not do or die, but they just want to feel better about themselves.
They got to get some chances.
Yep.
Selesky up towards Terrace. Shea gains the line. Shea working towards the slot, score! .30 Harberman with 1:44 to play in the second period. I believe it's going to be Terez's goal. It perhaps will be Shea if there was a deflection in front.
I thought it was Shea going down the left wing, and Terez gave it an eye or ear. I thought it was a 2-on-1, but we'll see.
We will get an official ruling on the goal. Either way, it's a 3-0 lead for the Harberman.
3 second-period goals.
At 13-16.
Paul Donato now, the Wellesley coach, questioning.
It is indeed Shea. So Shea with a 2-point night.
Cincinnati, number 10, Ethan Ivalao.
Having trouble with Ethan's name. I think I called him Iorio the other day too, but Terrace is going to get an MHL assist and a real assist. He gave it an Ioria coming through center ice, so. We're generous with the Hingham points.
Raiders win the draw. They've won the majority of the draws, I would say, has Wellesley. I don't have the numbers in front of me. Hasn't gotten much done for them. The game was scoreless after one. Hingham has put up a 3-spot so far in the second. Still about 90 seconds to go.
Well, Hingham's just playing pretty good positional hockey. That's offsides there, but very good positional hockey and playing as a team. You know, they just, not that Wellesley isn't, but Wellesley's just a half a step behind Hingham this whole period, and Hingham taking advantage of it and building momentum as well.
Wellesley came into the game 15-2-4. They had a 6-2-2 record in the Bay State Herget division. Very good goal differential numbers, plus 44 overall, 64-20, plus 17 in conference play, 25-8.
8 goals in conference play. How's that?
They allowed, right, in 10 games.
Wow.
I witnessed Jack Maxwell pitch a shutout against the Norwood Mustangs back on February the 16th. Early 10 a.m. start at the now imploded Ponkapog Arena in Canton. I don't know if you heard about that one.
I saw a thing on TV, an arena imploded, but I didn't know it was down at Ponky. Rick Riley from Sports Illustrated will have to come write a story on that, because he did one on the golf course there. Did a book on it, I think. Oh, maybe Feinstein. I can't remember.
Under a minute to go in the second period. Including the Bay State's Carey division, Wellesley played only 3 non-league games all season. Now, those Carey division games count as non-league games. But outside of the Bay State, Wellesley played only 3 games and just really didn't challenge themselves, and that's why their 2 losses really didn't catch the eyes of the Super 8 selection committee.
Well, that's, you know, the Middlesex League plays a real league-heavy schedule as well, and, you know, it's a philosophy that you have to look at in a big term. I don't want to get talking about that now as clock winds down, but
Wellesley played Winchester, King Philip, and Oliver Ames outside of the Bay State. They won all 3 games. Well, they tied Winchester.
There's some pretty good hockey players on this team. We don't want to belittle the team by
not.
schedule, but you know it begs the question. Hingham and Independent goes out and plays everybody they can, and you know they get criticized for the number of losses, but you know they don't have any excluded games, and they play everybody. And you know from the perspective of the kids and the coaching staff, we're going to get better by playing those teams, and that's not a knock on Wellesley or the Middlesex League by any means.
Certainly not. You know, a raucous ovation from the Hingham fans as the Hardmen exit the ice after the second period.
And a little bit better, the coach is kind of walking slowly, but geez, they got to feel better about their team after that one. At least, you know, scoring 3 goals on Jack Maxwell in a game, never mind a period, is a great accomplishment. So, you know, they got to feel good about the offensive production that period.
I'm with you, Paul. We are going to take a break. A 10-minute intermission coming up before the third and final period of the night, thanks to the Marshfield-Barnstable game being postponed. Hingham up 3-0. They hang on. They are on to the semifinals of the Division I South Sectional. We'll be back on MyHockeyLive.com.
won 3-0.
All right, I'll give it to you.
Here we go, back for third period. For the third period call, Jake Levin.
Hey, Paul, thank you very much. Jake Levin, Paul McNamara, and, of course, Art Egerton behind the camera. Hingham with a 3-0 lead. They are 15 minutes away from advancing to the Division I South sectional semifinal. 3 goals in the second period. Marshall Terez, Ethan Ieria, and Dan Shea. And I do stand corrected, Paul. Terez assisted on 2 of those goals. Matt DeMellis, of course, on the power play. How can I leave that one out?
Well, we'll see. The official MHL total today is different from what will go into the books, but, you know, we like to say we call it for the kids up here and try to get it right.
Preciseness matters, and the Harbormen had some precise passes. There's Terez. Maybe he will score a goal after all. A minute into the period, there's McNally firing it high off the end boards.
On a beautiful play by Danny Shea, too, as he headed off the ice to set up Billy McNally.
Dan Shea has also been involved in this one. He's got a goal and an assist. Paul, I understand we have some Super 8 scores to tell
Yeah,
the
we do. Earlier this afternoon, Austin Prep prevailing 3-0 over Central Catholic. The second game was a wild one with Springfield Cathedral winning over Woburn, but it was 3-2, a lot closer than people thought. We'll check back as Wellesley had a break here.
Hingham just needs to bend and not break. They cannot afford to play a second period like they did against the Wildcats in this third period here from Friday night. A disaster nearly for the Harbormen as that clangs off the post from the stick of Griffin Morgan.
Well, they got to get some life, Wellesley. I'm sure they came out fired up, and you're right. Hingham can't come out complacent. It's a 3-goal lead, but 1 goal turns this game around either way right now.
Eller has played very well. Not really any highlight reel saves, which isn't to take anything away from him. It's merely there haven't been any outstanding opportunities. As there's Hennessy out by. That's a highlight reel save for Jack Maxwell. Wow. Robbing Hennessy with the glove.
Hennessy with a great wrist shot there from maybe 35 or 40 feet right down Main Street, and unbelievable save there by Maxwell.
That line remains on. It'll be Forbes on the draw. Hennessy in the slot to his left. Gordon to the right on the half wall. That shot is taken. A hard shot from the far point by Selesky. Another good save for Jack Maxwell up into the netting.
Maxwell right there where he belongs, and he loves making those saves. Back to Songus. The second game, as we said, was Cathedral 3, Woburn 2. A good job by Woburn to, I'm sure they're not happy they didn't win, but it was 2-2 after 2. Cathedral prevails. The third game was a barn burner. BC High outplaying St. John's early, but Kyle Martin, the goaltender, keeping them at bay. We'll get back to that one. Next whistle break.
Public pride. I was rooting for the Tanners. Wellesley fires that one from beyond the point. It was off the stick of Keene. Jacobs.
You may get to see the Tanners play 3 games with Cathedral. They play like they did today. That series could go 3.
Here goes Ieria, who started the scoring for the Harbormen. He gloved it down and jetted up the right wing. But now comes Zach Dowdy with the puck, trying to lead the charge. Underneath the stick of Carter Huff. It's going to be an ice. I thought it touched the stick of Droster. Instead, the Harbormen will get an attacking zone draw. 12:14 to go in the third. By the way, Hingham now moving from left to right across your screen. Wellesley from right to left.
So in the third game, BC High outplaying St. John's. They get a goal, and they lead it 1-0 with 6 minutes to go. Lo and behold, St. John's ties it with a power play and scores near the end of the game and wins it 2-1 over BC High. So the Eagles and the Eagles match up in a great one there. And now in the second period of the nightcap, Franklin actually took a 1-0 lead over Malden Catholic. Malden Catholic has tied it with about 4 minutes to go in the second period.
Crazy day of hockey up at Songus.
And we'll see if we can get anything from the 2 games at Stoneham. Newburyport was playing Chelmsford at 4 o'clock, and at 6:30 Arlington was going to hook up with St. Mary's of Lynn. So perhaps those scores are already on the website and we don't know about. Maybe Mark Igo will text us, or or the hardest young lady in show business, Brooke Igo, who was up at Songus doing a great job today and does a great job throughout the tournament. This operation couldn't exist without Brooke Igo, let me tell you.
It's Nathan Brown jetting up the right wing, thwarted by Droster. That is O'Rourke trying to clear the zone, but Brown stays with it, sends it through the crease, picked up by Egan along the sideboards, and sent back into the attacking zone by Colby. O'Rourke along the end boards to Droster. Battle at the half wall. Colby pinching him from the point. O'Rourke trying to connect with McNally. He'll get it to DeMellis instead. Hingham already sort of playing a prevent defense. Ball control offense. Call it what you want.
Yeah, we don't have a four corners. The late Dean Smith, who just passed away, would be proud of putting a game away and taking the air, deflating the puck if you could ever do that. But Hingham content to just counter every Wellesley attack, and if they get another one of their own, it's a bonus.
Poke check by Egan towards the slot. He had Gordon checking down, but blocked by Colby, who's had a very active third period thus far. About 5 minutes gone by. Hardman lead 3-0 in the third period.
And every minute that goes by becomes well, here's a break right here. Becomes another arrow in the quiver of the Harbormen, because Wellesley needs goals and more time.
Will Jones sent that one well wide off the end boards. Jones again will tee it up, sends it on net this time, but saved by Maxwell.
You're not going to get any easy goals with Maxwell in there for sure, but if the Harbormen ever get another one before Wellesley able to get one up there, this thing could be in dire jeopardy for the Raiders. I mean, they're not out of it yet, but they've got to just, attack a little more and sort of like throw caution to the wind, and they got to start double forechecking the puck and, taking some more chances, even with just under 10 minutes, 9:53 to go.
Yeah, I mean, we said it about Maxwell earlier. He allowed 8 goals in 10 league games. The kid can play.
That's offsides. Jones thought about it, said, I'll go. No, I won't go. Now I'll go. And by the time he got there, the puck had squirted over the blue line, and the official, about parenthetically 6 inches away from that thing, he was right on top of it.
9:47 to go in the third. Backhanded into the attacking zone by Terez. Zach Dowdy plays the puck, turns it over. Iria, that was Shea, rather, tried to backhand it on net, but it was well wide to the far side of the post. Selesky at the far point skates in on the left side. Selesky is going to take it on a tour of the attacking zone to the near corner. Tried to send it to Jones at the point, intercepted, and here comes Carter Huff. Carter Huff's got a great wrist shot on display there, but saved by Eller.
But, Jake, that last sequence just shows where we're at in the hockey game. Selesky can take that chance. He looks up. He's got a pretty good chance. He takes the chance. As you said, went on a tour, killed time. And guess what? When he finally went down and they started coming out, Danny Shea's going to go to the box. But guess who's covering at the point? Ethan Iria, doing a great job, well coached, covering up for his defenseman.
Hingham will be shorthanded for the third time tonight. That's the second penalty against Shea. So Shea is filling that stat sheet, a goal, an assist, and 2 different penalties, 4 penalty minutes.
All he needs is a fight, and he can be called Gordie Howe for the night.
Forgetting that we're playing high school hockey, he actually has 3 penalty minutes, 2 minute-and-a-half minors.
And forgetting that we're playing high school hockey, if he gets a fight, he's going to miss the potential next game. Just kidding, folks, just kidding.
I would advise against the Gordie Howe hat trick. Teeing that shot up.
I think O'Rourke did block that one. He's hurting. That
was Murphy. Losing an edge is Eric Dowdy. Got it to Keene. But here's Matt Egan, who was content dumping it in to the Wellesley defensive end. 8:38 to go. No zone time yet for the Raiders on this man advantage, and it's already about halfway gone. Gaining the line is Murphy. Firing it, and another save for Eller, who continues to pitch a shutout.
Yeah, that's just a hockey practice save there, a long shot in, and you just loosening up your glove with that save. No problem for Ayler right there. We want to mention, next time we get a longer break, we're going to thank our sponsors for helping to make this all possible on MyHockeyLive. Great day of hockey, great couple of weeks of hockey.
Thinking about taking the shot was Kevin Ward. Instead, got it to Rustin Keene. Huff to Ward to the point. Good tic-tac-toe passing. Cox found Huff at the bottom of the slot, but it was up over the protective netting, or lack thereof, really, on that end, over the glass.
Great play by Sean Cox, though. Great look. He got everybody coming this way for Hingham. A little bit of puck watching there, and Cox just found the guy open on the far side, but unfortunately, a wooden stick, and that would have been right on net. But all this fake stuff that they're using now, that went right out of the rink.
8:07 to go in the third. 17 seconds to go on the man advantage for Wellesley. They have zone time. Morton to Cox towards the slot, and it was deflected by Huff.
Well-designed play, though, the deflection.
Good positional save by Eller. Selesky will try to clear, couldn't do it. And he tries again, sends it wide of Maxwell. The penalty has expired. Back to 5-on-5 hockey with 7:40 to go in the third. Cox,
good kill by Hingham.
Cox couldn't hang on to cleanly. Slapping at it was McNally. DeMellis tried to advance further. I believe that was offside.
Folks, Mohawk Rubber Sales is the largest independent distributor of auto shop supplies in the USA and is headquartered right here in Massachusetts. Mohawk carries only the most reputable brands in the industry and can guarantee delivery to most U.S. locations in under 3 days. Most Mohawk products are available for purchase online, so be sure to check out the online store at mohawkrubber.com.
Thank you, Paul. Under 7.5 to go. That means we're halfway home in this third period. Wellesley needs some goals, and they need them in a hurry. Hingham is not letting them anywhere near their attacking zone. Good forecheck in the neutral zone. Forbes, Gordon in on the play. Trying to take it himself is Billy Garenti. But Garenti meets the body of O'Rourke.
Boy, I'm shocked O'Rourke didn't get called for interference, tackling, whatever, in a 3-0 game with 7 minutes to go. That was close.
Maxwell thought that was going to be an ice. It was picked up by Hennessy. He couldn't get a shot off. Nobody was down there with him. But the Hardmen again dumping into their attacking end. Wellesley will try to lead a charge. 6:40 to go. They are being shut out. Selesky from the near point fires, deflected, and up into the protective netting. I think Shea got a piece of it.
You know, Maxwell's so aggressive. I love the way he plays. He just goes after everything, and he wants to be the guy. He wants to be responsible. He's just a presence in there. And, geez, I'd love to have him playing goaltender for my club.
Maxwell, a senior, playing in potentially his final game, as is any senior in these Division I or any division playoffs.
Except for the Super 8, 2 out of 3s. We may qualify that.
Intercepted by Selesky. He gains the line into the slot to the backhand. It was knocked away by Doughty. Back towards the slot. Nobody was in position for the Hardman. Up ice comes Peter Heroux, and he goes down at the hands of
They're going to call Droster here.
Slow to get up is Heroux. Heroux is up, clearly in pain. Sort of gliding off with one skate. We hope he's okay. Droster will go. It's going to be a cross-check. Wellesley will have another power play there, 4th of the night, with 6:05 to go in the third period. Really, Heroux, he's really only placing weight on that left leg. His right leg.
The only thing I can see them calling is boarding, but I guess they called a cross-check. I don't know whether.
Ball number 5, Nico Roser. Time of the penalty, 8:55, cross-checking.
We'll get another look at the Raider power play with Keene, Huff,
You know,
and
I wouldn't be surprised if they pull the goalie here, Jake, or call a timeout and pull the goalie. Maybe they give half the power play and see if they can do something, but there he goes.
Indeed. Extra attacker is Kerrigan. From the point, teeing that up was Ward. It was blocked in front. Keeping it alive is Kerrigan, the extra skater.
They got to double the puck, though. That's why you take the goalie out and you have a man advantage.
6-on-4 for the Raiders. Still 6 or so minutes. McNally advances the puck on the backhand, and he scores. Short-handed goal, Billy McNally. A half-hearted celebration. And the Hardmen are on top, 4-0, with 5:37 to go in the game. That should ice it. Any regrets about that decision if you're Wellesley?
Now, you can say, oh, they wouldn't have scored, but we got a goalie there, and we're not going to get another chance. This is the chance we got to take. It's you pull the trigger, and like Carol King said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. And I know you don't want to know that reference, Jake, but sweet seasons.
So the Raiders is still on the power play, but the Harbermen have the puck. They're just playing catch with one another. Droster throws it off the sideboards. McNally on the receiving end.
So Billy McNally gets the MyHockeyLive good luck goal. All we need is O'Rourke to get one now. The twin tandem who were interviewed before the game.
Here comes Kerrigan. Kerrigan gains the line, sends it on net. Easy save for Eller. 5:01 to go. So it'll be Hingham against the winner of Marshfield and Barnstable, barring a miracle comeback, of course, by the Raiders. Marshfield and Barnstable was postponed for tonight. That game will be made up at 4 o'clock here tomorrow at Gallo Arena. I am hearing there is a chance it will be on the MyHockeyLive family of networks. Cannot confirm yet.
And Hingham will be here Thursday night for all you Harbor people fans. It'll be Thursday night at 8 o'clock here that Hingham will face the winner of the Barnstable Marshfield game. And, of course, if you're out of town or can't make it down Route 3, that game most likely will be on MyHockeyLive, but we have to check that too.
Pretty sure. I'll tell you who's been watching on MyHockeyLive is Nolan Driscoll and Andrew Dillon down in Hamden, Connecticut, a pair of former Harberman players.
Excellent.
Nolan was a stud. Andrew was kind of just on the team, but they're watching nonetheless.
Other Harbor interception here.
Saved by Eller.
Eric Dowdy, some of the Wellesley defensemen have played strong games. Sean Cox and Eric Dowdy. Another Harberman alumnus, Connor Coveney, has had a terrific year down at Trinity.
Yes,
ranked number 2 in the country. They had a bad outing yesterday in the NESCAC semifinals and lost, or rather in the NESCAC, I think the quarterfinals, and lost to Tufts. And so they're out of the NESCAC tournament, but they are still hoping to get an at-large bid to the D3 national tournament.
Maxwell will get an ovation from the Wellesley fans. His season and career is over as a Raider, replaced by Andrew Johnston, a junior goaltender.
Oh, almost had one. That's a great touch by Coach Donato and his staff. Maxwell, wasn't Maxwell's fault. He gets a big hug from Coach Donato over there, and it's a great touch to get Andrew Johnston in there and to get Maxwell out and get him a hand from the fans that made their way down here, and classy move.
Johnston, the lone goaltender on the roster that is not a senior, Graham Lassick the other. So Johnston, perhaps, an preview of what is to come next season for the Wellesley Raiders.
And here's your favorite Hingham line out here, Jake.
It is the Bruiser line featuring Joey Garrity, Andrew Driscoll, and Drew Hickey.
Connor Coveney, just to mention, he had a great year. He's had some injuries throughout his career, but a couple of empty net goals this year, proving his value and his worth as a hockey player. Very smart player.
A Coveney, and here goes Garrity. Garrity trying to crash the net.
It's just nice to see a kid like Connor who stayed with it so far, and just a great hockey player, great kid. So congrats to Connor Coveney.
Well, Coveney was a captain on the 2010 Hingham team that won not only the state championship, but the Super 8.
Right, the Super 8, yeah.
Yes, and Joe Garrity on the receiving end of a check that is going to draw a penalty, I believe, against the Raiders.
An interference call. I'm not sure who's headed in there. I guess it's number 8, Kevin Ward. That's going to come at 12:08.
We got a few other reserves coming off for Hingham. We have Flanders, Phil Body, and Cohen, I believe, on this power play. Shot taken, saved by Johnson. That was from Will Jones.
The last goal, by the way, 9:23. McNally, the empty net tally, and assist to Selesky. That made it 4-0.
Number 8, Kevin Ward.
Cohen and Phil Body. As I said, they are your reserve forwards out there on the ice. Kept alive at the point by Will Jones. Cross point for O'Rourke. O'Rourke in the slot was looking for Phil Body.
Great pass, great look.
Can't get it clear. Jones keeps it alive. One-time bid. Nice save by Johnson. It was off the stick of O'Rourke. 2:18 to go.
Mark O'Rourke wants a goal, the worst way.
O'Rourke's going to tee it up again, and it is off the stick of Eric Dowdy up into the protective netting right in front of our friends Phil Garceau and Rich McClone. A couple of Cape Cod personalities. Phil Garceau of CapeHockeyHub.com. Rich McClone of the Falmouth Enterprise. They have contributed to some MyHockeyLive.com broadcasts over the past several weeks.
Great.
That shot is taken.
Oh. Number 3 for Wellesley in there. Carter Huff just took a run at a legal run at one of the Hingham players in front and took him down. Folks, when you're hungry, new Jif to Go dippers combine creamy Jif peanut butter and crunchy pretzels for the perfect grab-and-go snack. Talk about a non sequitur at this point. Thanks very much to Jif Food Products for helping support high school hockey on My Hockey Live.
Wellesley couldn't get the clear. We're inside 2 minutes to go. Hingham on the power play for the next 35 seconds. That is Flanders trying to get to Phil Body. Good forecheck by Griffin Morgan. Phil Body, glove down by Connor Morton. Connor Morton from the right circle runs into a body. Looked like Steven Jacobs. Jacobs with the puck from behind his own net. 90 seconds to go. Here goes Steven Jacobs jetting up the right side of the ice. Jacobs into the slot, wants to shoot it, and the shot was taken, but it was blocked. I think that was Flanders.
Is that Jacobs or Gretzky out there making that play?
Phil Body took the shot, and there's Jacobs. Sends it down low. Looks like Gordon fires it. It's Hennessy. Hennessy skating with Morgan behind the net. The penalty is elapsed. 1:10 to go. Shot taken. Jacobs with a blast.
Boy, Johnson's got about 5 saves, and 3 of them excellent since he's been in there.
Yeah, this is the future for Wellesley. You got to feel confident about the post-Jack Maxwell era.
Oh, man,
Jacobs with a huge hit. He just destroyed Matt Kerrigan.
How do they not call Jacobs for that interference? That's a bad hit by Jacobs.
I don't think there was any ill intent there, but Kerrigan's hurt. And it didn't look that bad from here. That's why I was so emphatic. I apologize.
And Tyler Capecci has just been asked to leave the premises here as he went after Jacobs and pushed him, and I think he expressed in his language to the official he's going to get a misconduct. But, at this point in the game, I can't believe Jacobs did not get called for that hit, boarding or interference. But
Kerrigan's moving his legs, albeit gingerly, slightly. There's movement.
Well, we'll take this opportunity, folks, to tell you about Integrated Benefits Group. Integrated Benefits Group is a boutique firm specializing in employee benefit and human capital management. Employee benefits are among the largest concerns for any company. IBG can manage costs and offer the right plans for your employees. In a changing marketplace, you need an expert, and Team IBG has been just that for over 20 years. Plan offerings include, but are not limited to, medical, dental, vision, life insurance, disability benefits, voluntary benefits, retirement planning, and many more. To get your no-cost benefits audit, please call Tony Maffeo, 781-953-2000, 781-953-2000, Tony Maffeo, or visit online at www.thinkibg.com.
Kerrigan's still down. He's still moving his feet, which is a good sign, obviously. I don't want to say it was a dirty hit, Paul, but it certainly wasn't a necessary one, I guess, if anything.
I don't mean,
and he's to his feet, yeah, or at least to his knees now.
I didn't mean to imply dirty, but no, I meant to imply that I think it was one that was a penalty, perhaps. That doesn't mean it's dirty. It just means it was.
No, I'm with you.
It's a couple of big bodies there, and Jacobs is just playing the game out to the end, as is Kerrigan.
I would have to see the replay, but like I said, my first impression was that it was a clean hit. And on his way down, I think Kerrigan hit his head. I'm glad to see he's okay up on his knees.
Connor Morton, misconduct, both penalties, 1407.
A couple of misconducts.
Connor Morton also gets called for misconduct, so those guys are done for the evening and most likely for the season with a 4-goal deficit with under a minute to go. And Kerrigan gets a nice round of applause coming off the ice, and he is stunned. You know, the best you can hope for is it's just got the wind knocked out of him, and he'll be okay. But
that's a possibility because his legs are moving. His arms just don't look like they're moving all that much.
The conclusion of this game, Hingham fans, as you exit the bleachers, please go to your left. And if Wellesley fans, as you exit the bleachers, please go to your right.
They've been doing this all throughout the tournament. I've noticed they're advising fans to leave through opposite ends. I like the move. I think it avoids extracurricular. Well, at least it is an attempt to. Right.
Have you seen the back of this building, Jake? It takes about 30 seconds for someone to meet up with somebody out there. But I agree.
It was for the best they said that for the Hingham-Weymouth game on Friday night, I believe. And I've seen some crowds up at Pilgrim Arena in the past. As a save is made there by Johnson with 40 seconds to go. Shot taken. That was by Hickey. The Bruiser linebacker. The Garrity clear. It was clear of the slot. Garrity had a goal and he misfired. 4-0, the Hardeman lead. 12 seconds to go. This is going to pretty much do it. O'Rourke is going to skate with the puck along his goal line and right behind Andrew Eller. The Hardeman are going to the D1 South semifinals.
And that sets up a matchup Thursday night against the winner of Barnstable and Marshfield right here at 8 o'clock at the Gallo. And chances are MyHockeyLive will be here. We're going to try to have a doubleheader Thursday night, a south doubleheader, a south doubleheader and a north doubleheader. So 4 games, 2 from each site if things work out. So stay tuned on the site.
Can't get enough, and I'm assuming you will handle the north. I'll be down here south. We'll have the best of the best. We're going to have to split up the A-team for that one, but what can you do?
Jake, it's a pleasure to work with you, I'll tell you that.
Paul, always. Still 2 weeks left of postseason hockey, too. Let's not forget that. So
never get too much of a good thing.
The Hardeman skate on, still fuming about their Super 8 snub. They're going to take that T1 South. As I see
Jake Levin's still fuming, I'll tell you that. They look pretty good right here today.
I'm too old to fume over Super 8 snubs. I look at myself 6 or 7 years ago, I probably wouldn't have been too pleased.
And Wellesley, very nice touch. The Wellesley fans who came down here giving their team a heck of a round of applause, and nice gesture by the Wellesley kids to salute their fans and thank them for coming down. And they put together a heck of a season with only 3 losses. You know, we talk about schedule, but that's a great record for Wellesley this year. And congratulations to the Raiders. They end up 15-3-4, and that's pretty good.
So both Bay State Conference team, or actually all 3 Bay State Conference teams that were still alive in this D1 South eliminated today. Braintree 1-0 by the Zavarian Hawks. Newton North 1-0 by the Duxbury Dragons. And now the Wellesley Raiders 4-0 by the Hingham Hardeman. Paul, no goals from the Bay State Conference today.
Well, no goals from the losing teams here in 4 games. That's incredible.
Couple of good ones.
The one last bit of business we have to take care of is we want to remind you that the Mass Hockey Coaches Hall of Fame dinner will be held Sunday, May 3rd at the Montvale Plaza in Stoneham, 4 o'clock. The 2015 Hall of Fame inductees include Dan Shine from Arlington Catholic, Bob Carpenter, longtime coach at Westford Academy, Dante Muzzioli from Belmont High, Spike Sprague, who coached at Newburyport and Haverhill, and assistant coach inductee Doug Smith from Hanover High. Also the Stewart Award, and a nice hand here for Carrigan as he's helped off the ice to our right, Jake. So really hope that he's okay. Stewart, of course. A Stewart Award goes to Paul Pearl, assistant coach at Harvard, who was the head coach at Holy Cross for a long time. And excuse me, the Officials Award goes to Joe McAuliffe from the HOA, East Mass Hockey Officials Association. They'll introduce the 2015 Coaches All-Academic Team. And to get tickets, you can call Charlie Driscoll at 978-777-7075 or by email at mshca2005@yahoo.com. And, of course, coaches, you know where to get more information at your own website or by calling Charlie Driscoll. Everyone knows how to get a hold of Charlie. So make sure you make your plans to go to that dinner. It's always a fun time, and it keeps the hockey season going a little bit more after March.
Sun never sets on hockey season. All right, Paul, thank you very much for that. You thank Art Egerton behind the video tonight, as always, or most of the time here down south when it's not Pat Serio, but, you know.
And we introduced Art to the north the last couple of days.
And they're both professionals in their field. I want to thank you, Paul, of course, helping me out today.
Thank you for helping me out, Jake.
I'm Jake Levin, MyHockeyLive.com. One more time, the final. Hingham 4, Wellesley 0. We will be back here, I know for a fact, tomorrow night. We are doing the 8 o'clock game. Will we do the 4 and the 6? We'll see. Questions to be answered soon. Stay tuned for updates. Follow at MyHockeyLive on Twitter.
And don't forget to check out the tournament pages at MyHockeyLive as well. You'll be kept up to date, up to the minute of everything going on in all the tournaments. Last we heard, the final D1A game of the day was tied at 1 in the third period between Malden Catholic and Franklin.
Wow. The public's doing us proud so far today. All right, that's it for us. Keep it locked in the future on MyHockeyLive.com.